I ran a bit out of time today to make a video today, and so let me show you. We are moving the chickens over to Cornell's place. Show you that quickly. Moving buckets of food. We'll move all of the rest of the food as well. Another place where we will be adding a water harvesting system soon is we move the washing machine from town. We moved the washing machine over here. We didn't have a space for a washing machine in our house, and so now we moved the washing machine here, and we have now grey water coming out next to the water tank Hope. Okay, water's currently running here, but I'm thinking of putting a water pipe and then adding a papaya circle somewhere. I should actually get on the other side of these flowers. They are actually looking very nice. Hold on. Kids are here doing horse riding lessons, so that's going well. We've started on Mikon's birthday party. Working on that so long, I realized that's more work than I can do in a day. So we're gonna start getting some things ready. This is some of the sunflowers that's been planted next to the fence. Now in between them is my wonderful Lucinas. So this will become a Lucina fence, and that will shade the chickens. It will shade the western side of my house. It depends. If we don't like it, we cut them short. If we like them, then we let them grow. Later on they will grow 3 meters in a year. Lucina is an incredible plant, and I hope to have thousands of them, thousands and thousands of them one day on the farm. I think one tree can feed 10 sheep for a day. So if we have 300 trees, 300 grown trees, then we can feed 10 sheep the whole year just from the trees. Another person coming to look at the Oregon pine decided that if we don't get a taker soon, then I'm just going to use it in the construction. Then 30 years from today, people will say, oh, somebody used, I can't believe somebody used Oregon pine in construction, thinking that I didn't know the value. I do know the value, but that is what I have, so that is what I'm going to use. Okay, let's do a quick trip to the piggies as well. Obviously over here there is now so many sunflowers. All of these sunflowers were just planted in the rain. They never were irrigated or anything like that. They are even growing on the worm pile. 99% of our current compost goes to, or current manure goes to Mikon's garden to try and lift that compost pile up as fast as we can. So we need a couple more, maybe a day or two, that we feed the worms again instead of making the compost. Koi. Look here. Piggies are doing well. We will be adding another 4 very soon. They are happy campers. Hello piggies. How are you? Yeah. Is life good? Life is good when you're a pig, I think. In this case, any case. It's interesting how much longer the mulch lasts now. Now that it's dry, adding mulch in here lasts for about a week. Once it was wet, we added mulch, and they would literally decimate like 6 bags of mulch within the morning. You'd put mulch in there, like later in the afternoon, it's just gone. It really sounds like it's going to rain. I think that's going to be something wonderful. Just show you quickly as well, we planted Lucina next to the pigsties as well. A lot of them are struggling, but some of them are doing okay. And so that will add another layer of shade, western shade. to the piggies. I think shading pigs in our climate is so important. One of the things that I've been thinking about Mikkel's garden today is we've got some concrete stone there and we've got some sand there. I've been wondering, building tables and building little benches and things like that, whether we should cast a table, which might look a little bit neater. If we do it correctly, it can look bad as well. Or whether we should reclaim tires and build like little benches and things like that with tires. If you want to share ideas, Mikkel's birthday, the Discord channel, I'll leave a link to that, and so we can add more ideas to Mikkel's or to Emmanuel's shop that we're going to launch on the 9th of May. I think that's quite important. Prickly pears are doing okay. See, this one is not happy. This one needs to become pig food, but this one is doing well. Looks like something came through and broke a bit of it off. This one is happy. I've been to Emmanuel's house a little bit earlier. You need to check the shorts. However, I didn't make a video of the chickens eating the termites, which is sad. I should have done that. Look at how big this what do you call this? Marula is. It used to be a little tree like that last year. It's basically a whole meter and a half of growth in 1 year. I think it's fantastic. Beans and beans everywhere. Sunflowers everywhere, which is fantastic. Moringa, prickly pear there. Happy prickly pear. You can look at the leaves here on top. And then these little guys, armored crickets. They've been eating beans like crazy lately. Problem with a forest is pest control becomes such a difficult thing. I can understand why people plant monocrops, because then it's easier to spray. So if you walk in here, for instance, and you need to start controlling things, then you have to control spider mites there, or whatever you call that, white rust on the pumpkins. You need to spray something for the fancy cricket here. You need to do something to whatever is eating this moringa there. And so it's 3 different pests in one area. That it's obviously difficult to control when you have 3 different things in one area. You get a lot more diversity now because the pest is confused. Now this Lucina is actually growing great. There's beans that's not being eaten. I see on the sunflower there's about 3 or 4 pests, and although the sunflower is not the main crop, it's keeping the pest occupied. So I guess there's some sort of pros and cons. But it really is a lifelong pursuit in understanding the balance of nature and the dance of nature and doing these things correctly. Another moringa here. Another papaya here doing really well. I was wondering, and see, they are also harboring armored crickets. I was wondering whether I should build clay walls around these things with the termite mount for the cold. Clay wall as a protection layer for the termites, for the cold, for the season. We'd like to hear your voice on that. So the dry beans we can obviously harvest for seeds, and then currently we are canning buckets and buckets filled with beans. So we'll be eating beans, canned beans, curry beans, beans with other things for many moons to come. I think I should quickly take you up in the river, but what I also wanted to say is If you haven't subscribed yet, we try to spread permaculture by Matthias, have a good night. Oh, I forgot his name. Name slipped away now while I was making a video. We spread permaculture into Africa, and so if you like that sort of thing and you think it's worth the while, subscribe. We're gonna have a couple of cool projects coming on. So I just want to take you up in the river, show you that we've been now 3 weeks without rain, and under the bushes it is still wet. We still have moisture close to everything that resembles a plant. Even here, this isn't even proper mulch, but you can clearly see the water still here, and this is now 3 weeks. I think it's almost 3 weeks now that we haven't had any rain. You can see the thick clay layer that came up. Now Mika's very much into the clay these days. She's been harvesting clay and making clay things and what. So I spoke to her aunt. Hopefully soon we'll be able to get more clay. Okay, I'm going to show you the structure. It obviously washed away a little bit on this side, but it held back quite a lot of water, and it grew grass, long grass in there. Let me go around here quickly. This is one of the paths that we cut so we can see it. It's just a shame that when the guys cut the paths, they didn't harvest the mulch and put it with the pigs or the horses or something. But I don't know, this one doesn't go where I want it to go. Let me go back quickly. Okay. The next one is the tire structure. This was my original BDA, Beaver Dam analog. Sorry, my glasses got hooked. And yeah, this thing I think did a proper job this year. It stood the test of time. I was convinced that it would possibly wash away, but this year we had the biggest floods I've ever seen in Namibia, and it did well. And this is just simple steel poles staked into the ground like that, and then tires behind it, filled with soil, and then in front of that there's some bushes. Now at one stage there was some leucaena growing here, but it seems like they are all gone. Here is something you don't see every day. Moss growing on soil. You don't see that often. So that means this thing has been wet for many moons. Okay, let's walk around it. Let's see on the other side. On the other side I planted some strangling figs, some family of the fig family. But yeah, you can also see there is sunflowers, and I'm sure if you look in here you'll see beans between the grasses. Must be beans and such. There's some sunflowers there. Okay. So every here and there you'll find some unexpected beans. No, this is not good. This is one of those invasive species that lady told me about. Okay, so I planted 2 figs here. I'm sure they didn't make it because they were standing in water for a very long time. This is one of them. It is very dead. I'm sure it's gone. It would be interesting to see if it does grow, but I don't think it will. And then there was another one over here. I think what will work in this river is grasses. 3 river forges. There's always talking to me about grass. I think, yeah, what will really work well is the elephant grass and so that's the Napier grass, and then the vetiver. Vetiver is an amazing plant. We made some shoots of that. I think that will work very well as well. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's going to be the end of my story. I see this video is maybe getting a bit too long. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody for the coffees. Clayton Ferguson joined as a new member. Thank you so much, Clayton. Beshy bought 10 coffees for Immo's shop when we opened the shop, so we can put stock in there, you know, food and what. That specific one I need to cut. I actually bought a Zaatsgieter, like a pruning scissors, to cut these things when I walk, and then whenever I walk I forget them at home. Anyway, Beshy bought 10 coffees for Immo's shop so we can have stock in there. And Porsche bought the fridge. Sue B bought so many coffees for Immo's shop. Mikon, obviously, Mikon is a huge contributor. Mikon, thank you so much. Brendo, I'm looking forward to Brendo the cow. That's going to be wonderful. So thank you everybody for watching my videos, and thank you very much for your support. I hope you have a wonderful day.